Hi, my name is Sim.
And I'm Karthik, and together with our dog, we've been traveling on the road for the past 1 year now, and we thought it's finally about time to show you what the inside of our house looks like.
So welcome to the Brown Van Life Van Tour.
Okay, so let's get down to the details of this beautiful van. It is a 1977 Dodge B200. You heard that right, 1977. That's like more than 40 years old. Much older than me and Sim combined, maybe. This baby has enough power to take us through all our adventures, but it's also very gas hungry. So our wallets are not too happy about it, but we wanted to do this trip in an epic fashion, in an old school van. That's why we're here. Another interesting fact about this van is that it was one of the first camper vans ever released in Canada by Dodge, and we happen to be one of the few lucky people who have gotten our hands on the maxi van version, which is essentially an extended back. The entire section is what makes the maxi van a maxi van, essentially. Originally, I think it was only supposed to be till here. We also found out that this van has been used for being an ambulance back in the days, a school bus, a police car, and also used in funeral homes. So this guy has seen a lot of different variations in what it can be used for, but now it's a perfect camper we could have ever imagined. Exterior upgrades we did to this van. First up, we bought these all-terrain tires. Really good for snow, sand, dirt, gravel, you name it. These guys have been amazing for us. They're called BF Goodrich KO2s. Got 5 of these, 4 and 1 extra. Second major upgrade that we did was we got a 5-inch lift done. Not an easy job to do for an older van. I don't think anybody's done a lift on these kind of older vans. So we found somebody really cool, thanks to Charlie from Never Easy in California. He hooked us up with a 5-inch lift. This has done wonders for our suspension, to be honest, for all the places we go to in the backcountry and just off-roading. Even though we don't have a 4-wheel drive on this van, we're able to go to a lot of places because of this lift and the suspension upgrade we've done here. Moving on to this side, we have an awning right above our sliding door. It's a full-size ARB awning. It's great for sunny days to just chill under. Sometimes we also use it in an outdoors workspace, and it just expands the living area by so much more and gives the illusion that your van is much bigger than it actually is. Then moving on to the back, we have our spare tire. Standard, we need a spare tire if you're going on this long journey, because these tires are not easy to find in this region of the world. And then strapped to the tire is this Max Tracks, which have also saved our butts a lot in those beach adventures that we do and always end up getting stuck trying to get into a cool campsite.
Welcome to our casa. Before we go in, I want to tell you, usually this is how the setup is. We always have a doormat in the front and a floor mat too. The idea is to keep as much as dirt possible outside, and like a typical Indian home. It's very common in an Indian home, you do not take your slippers inside. This van is full of imperfections because we built it with our hands, and it's a really old van, so we had a bunch of issues. We are still not able to resolve them, but we'll eventually get there. But we are very proud of what we have achieved. Alright, we are inside. I'm so nervous. We have not done this. It's such a private space. We want you to be a part of our journey, and this has been the most requested video, so here it goes. Designing this van, we had 2 main things in our mind. A great bed, because we know if we can sleep well, we'll survive anything. And second, a great kitchen area. One thing I hate the most is doing dishes, and I've seen camper vans with the tiniest sink, and I was like, that's not gonna work. My pressure cooker will take up the whole sink. So, designed a massive, you will never see a sink bigger than this in a camper van. You can literally store like 5 pots. It's an overkill, but trust me, it's amazing. And we have water running here, running water, which is not turned on. Thing that makes me so happy is my Indian food, and all ingredients you can imagine are in this camper van. Once you walk in, you see my instant spice rack. These are the spices I use on a daily basis, which are 12 spices which I need for cooking handy. Moving on to show you what my pantry and kitchen storage and equipments look like. The first drawer here, our stove. It's a massive camshaft stove by this brand called Everest, which is one of the reasons I bought it. A lot of you have seen the permanent stove setup. We didn't like that because I love cooking outdoors. So whenever we have a chance, I take this whole stove out. It's not that big. It's actually really, really small. When I have to cook indoors, it's perfect stove for indoor. I put it right here on this countertop and connect the propane right here. Cook right here, fumes go out. And when I have to cook outside, I can just take the whole thing out and cook outside. That's how we like it. Next is my cooking utensils. I have nailed out over a year exactly what I need to cook, and it's not too much. This is stackable pots by this brand called GSI. A skillet, which has detachable handles. My dearest pressure cooker at the back. We cannot live without our coffee and tea, so this is my tea filter. My favorite thing, jet boil to make coffee. I'll do a detailed kitchen tour separately. The bottom is the pantry for condiments, teas, and coffee. But that's not enough because you need a lot more than that when it comes to Indian food. So it has my attas, rice and besan, upma stuff, peanuts, more spices, chana and chole. Going on the top section, some people will think it's overkill, but if you're brown, nothing is overkill when it comes to spices and pickles. More pickle and more pickle.
Oh my lord.
Then I have 2 cubbies of any masala you can think of. Chana masala, sabzi masala, chaat masala. One of the last drawers underneath the sink is a bunch of miscellaneous things, including our toilet and Everest's food and some cleaning products. We have 2 baskets with Everest's stuff. Behind that is our 10-liter grey water tank. But the latest addition we have done recently, around like a month back, and I'm so happy and so glad we did it, is a freaking toilet. Finally got ourselves an emergency toilet, and it's life-changing.
If we do need to use it, we do have privacy already built in. Privacy door. So if I'm doing my business or if Sim's doing our business, we can't see each other.
Yeah.
It's very easy. I basically pull this out, open, take out my pants,
And I can't even see you.
and do my business.
And I can't even see your butt.
And I'm the happiest man alive. I can be chilling here on my phone,
Looking
have
at
a
the
nice
view outside.
This thing that I'm sitting on right now is actually our fridge. We specifically designed this box so that the fridge is hidden, out of sight, no temptations for anybody peeking in to maybe want to steal it. You pop this open and we have a fridge sitting right inside here. This particular fridge is a Dometic CF40. It's not the newer CFX40, it's the older one, but we got a good deal on it and it works just perfectly fine. The idea is that we don't overstock anything unless we're going away for long periods of time where there's going to be no grocery stores available, but we usually buy every few days, stock it in, and go get fresh produce again. Okay, my favorite part, most genius part, is the fact that we have managed to utilize the floor space capacity as much as possible. So instead of keeping the fridge flat on the ground, we raised it up a little because there's nothing we're going to do with the space regardless. We built a shoe rack underneath here.
While designing the layout of the bed, the priority was we wanted a dual functioning space. We didn't have the luxury of a permanent bed because it's slightly smaller, the camper van, and plus we needed a space to work. Basically, we made a wide U-shaped sectional. So Karthik sits here. I sit here because it doesn't hit my head. Also, we didn't want to make it like 2 separate sectional because if one person is working, the other person can totally sleep here.
We're in work mode currently. This is where we store our table. It's right here, mounted on the classic Lagoon mount system. If you see on this side, we have our Lagoon system mounted side wall of the couch. And basically, when we're ready to start working, all I gotta do is increase the height here, tighten this up, and man, I'm ready to get some work done. Make some money in the road while we can travel. Usually we pop this out and leave it back into the area where it belongs, or we just use this as an extra table to keep storing junk on top while we're stationary for a few days.
One of the good things about this couch mode is we have so much storage underneath all of this.
It's not the most easiest way to get to your storage, but we're not accessing this stuff every day. It's literally stuff that you need like maybe once in a blue moon.
Yeah.
So that's why it doesn't matter. So we just have to pop the mattress aside and you open it up and you have all the storage. So all our winter clothes currently are in here. Whenever we go to a colder place, we pop out the summer clothes, put that in here, and take out the winter clothes. Our camping equipment is basically stored under here. That side is all the electrical department. Middle, we have some tools. The most special thing that started the van build is this toolkit that Sim's dad gifted us. He's like, you will build a great van. You need this. So we're keeping this along with us throughout the entire journey for sure. There's also storage underneath this. Massive storage. Cushion out of the way. And then pop this up. And if you slide this out, you have access to more storage here. On the other side, which you don't really have access to from the storage area, but that's purposeful because we have basically dedicated that area for a 20-gallon freshwater tank, which is approximately around 70 liters. So lots of fresh water.
Moving on to more storage because you need that. And it's a home, so you need a place to put your clothes. We are very, very minimalistic when it comes to clothes and have managed to fit all our daily need clothes in these little cubbies. Because it's vertical storage, so we got these little pouches. This is Karthik's closet. His shirts are here, his pants are here, socks and undies are here. Done. Didn't have latches or time to make latches, so what we did, we took a dowel, cut it and put a screw in it and use it as a latch, and we've been doing that for 1 year.
It works perfect.
So close it and then yeah. This is my closet. It has 3 baskets again. One is my tops, bottoms, one is like outdoor wear, like swimming costumes, hiking clothes, and all of that.
By no means is this van perfect, and honestly I don't think any van is perfect. If you guys see those perfect vans on anywhere in social media, let me break it to you, it's not perfect. And this is how imperfect our van is. This is how I take out my clothes, guys.
We never had time to do those hinges.
We don't have hinges, and I honestly don't care. This is awesome.
We've been doing that for a year.
This is how I take out my clothes.
We have this section here. We do not use too many plates or cups. So, plates, 4 cups because guests aate hain, chai pilane padegi. 2 my favorite cooler cups. I love them for my tea. And from his workplace, coincidentally sent him this beautiful cup and it said, let the adventure begin.
Our overhead cabin directly above our front driver's side is massive storage, and we wanted it to be like this because we knew there was going to be a lot of things that didn't belong in the regular areas. Come on, every house has a catch-all place, and this is our catch-all place. We store our bedding here first thing in the morning after we wake up. We do our beds every day. This is our comforter, our duvet. It goes inside this compression sack. Amazing idea by Sim. Basically shove it in here and really compress it. Pillowcases and our bedsheet goes in here. Reflectix for the night. I'll show you how we set up our bed just in a moment. Our custom-made mosquito mesh. It works. We have buttons on the inside of our van too. Hello.
Moving on to our last storage inside the van. This area was empty, and in last second of leaving, right like 10 minutes before leaving from Toronto, I built this shelf because I was like, okay, we need something for books and plants or make it cute. So I built this shelf, but it never got utilized for books or plants because plants died, books got moisture on them. So now it's being used for miscellaneous items.
Let's go to the back of the van now. So in the back we have these 3 compartments. So the first compartment is where the water tank is, and there's a fill hole right here so we can fill up fresh water. Second compartment is basically where all our outdoor stuff lives. So anything that goes on the outside of the campsite lives in here. Chairs, table, a chatai, which is basically an outdoors mat, our pop-up tent toilet. Then the third compartment is brains of the electrical system. Our fuse box is here, and the main switch outlet is also here. On each of the side doors, there's these compartment sections. I don't know what they are for originally, but we have used it to store our shoes in here. Can you show us the van tour, please?
He's like, please don't bother me, let me sleep like a
Van tour? Winter. Airflow and temperature control. We don't have an AC, but we have, first up, we have this amazing Max Air fan that acts as both an intake and exhaust. So as Sim was mentioning, we use it as an exhaust when she's cooking, and then when we need to cool this van down, we just pop open this vent and we have cool air coming right in. It's amazing. But on those extra hot days for our Mr. Everest, who runs very hot usually, we have this another extra fan back here, and this can rotate in any direction we need it to rotate. Last but not least, We also have a lot of windows in this van. We have 4 of them that open up from inside the van. We get perfect cross ventilation when we need to open these up, and we don't even need to run the fans sometimes. So we just pop these open. Same thing on this side. For those cold, chilly nights, we do have a heater installed here. There's a vent here. It warms up the van like literally within a few minutes. And then because we don't really use a heater too often right now, we have doubled this section as an Everest station. So his water bowl is here and his food bowl is here. We work on the road, and honestly, it would not be possible without having a solid source of electricity and just being connected to our laptops and our phones as much as possible. So that's why we've invested heavily into our electrical system. We have the switch system here, which controls the pump, USB ports to charge our phones, cigarette lighter, USB ports. Our solar control panel here tells us how much solar we're getting. Our battery monitor here, and then this one is for our inverter. Basically, I can switch it on here. I got our laptop chargers to this, because everything runs on either DC, which is 12 volts, or AC, which is what you would use at home, 110 volts, and all of that needs to go into this. And then this little knob here controls our lights. We have an LED strip light, and it literally lightens up our living space like crazy. Underneath this storage area is all our electrical components. So it houses our lithium battery, all the fuses, the inverter, the DC to DC charger, everything is pretty much stored underneath here. And the reason why I left this space is to let it vent out. That's very important. So there's always constant airflow going in. We have 170 amp hours of lithium battery. The DC to DC charger essentially tops off the battery every time we're driving. And then on top, we have 2 solar panels, flexible solar panels on top, just 100 watts each, I believe. So just 200 watts, not too much solar. Again, for our needs, it's been just perfectly fine. Alright, so let's talk about the front cab for a second. Everything that you see in the front cab is completely redone from scratch. Whatever you see right now, there was nothing there before when we initially got this van. We wanted to keep the original vintage vibe alive. We retained the original back seat fabric and stitched it in with the new leather. Important upgrades we did, additional to the upholstery in the front cab, is this handy cup holder. Before, our drinks were just falling everywhere whenever we were driving. Now we have perfectly sized cup holders in place. This section with the stereo was just a hole in there. Before, you could hear all the engine noise seeping right through it. Pretty standard Bluetooth stereo system from JVC. And then we got Pioneer speakers on the door panels.
The tour almost took entire day. It's time to go to bed, and we're going to show you how the night mode is done. There are few rules that we follow for the night mode. One of them is to never wear the daytime clothes for sleeping. Always nighttime clothes. And we always clean ourselves, our feet, our body with a wet towel before getting into the bed. Look, we have the sliding system, and the reason it's sliding out so smooth because it's attached to a heavy-duty 200 kg slider. The whole thing comes out like a frame. Now we have perfect shape 2 cushions. The backrest go in the middle. Next step is making the van completely black out, so even if you have lights on, nobody can see it outside. First is cover the reflectix. Custom built to the back wall. There are buttons on the wall panel and on the reflectix. Press them, it seals the back window perfectly. Next is closing all the curtains. All our windows are fully tinted, and then on top of that we have these roll-out curtains. We made these curtains ourselves, and we used a hack that Van Life Sagas had showed in their YouTube video. Used a really thick material. Open it, and then we have the same buttons to make sure no light comes in. This side also. Done. Trust me, you can blast light fully inside and nobody can tell. It's about time to hit the bed. I hope you enjoyed this tour of our home on wheels, and if you have any questions, I'm sure you have, leave them in comments below. It all can get really overwhelming. The entire van will process all these improvements you saw. It took us a year to do them. We didn't do all of it in one go. try your best because it'll always be a work in progress. There's no such thing as a perfect van.
Thank you so much for coming into our home, and we hope to see you guys in the next video. If you guys like this tour, make sure you leave a comment and subscribe so you can join us along on our journey down south. We promise to bring you guys along much more frequently than we have been doing, but bear with us as we try to figure this out. And yeah, a lot of nice videos coming up to you guys very soon.
Okay, good night. We're going to bed. Bye bye bye.